way to heighten the monster's gross-out factor is to add a few worms or creepy crawlies. Leech Zombie amplifies this concept by 100. The idea behind the creature's design is straightforward. A huge quantity of leeches are infested by the T-virus and, through the power of gaming, gain the ability to control human corpses. The end result is a predatory tower of worms propped up on human legs, and the sight is more repugnant than outright unsettling. Leeches feed by sucking blood from a host, so try to imagine being covered by countless of starving but well-coordinated worms. Good riddance. Number 9. Revenant. Resident Evil Revelations 2. With multiple variants and hybrids stemming from the original progenitor virus, it was only a matter of time before someone mixed and matched. The result of injecting a dose of the Ouroboros virus to a corpse already contaminated by another viral strain, the Revenant is an ungodly collection of haphazardly assembled body parts barely kept together by nails and stitches. Alex Wesker succeeded in spawning a misshapen anthropomorphic doll that stumbles around ungracefully while its grotesque limbs threaten to crumble to the ground. The Revenant makes regular zombies seem like models fit for the runway. Number 8. Molded. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. 2017's entry saw the franchise reverting to its horror roots following a slew of action-focused numbered sequels. To this end, Capcom blessed the world with the introduction of the Molded. Despite possessing a vaguely human shape, these revolting beings are actually fungi and not reanimated bodies. Resembling a burned corpse with melted facial features, the Molded sports a grim exterior mask, faded red organs, and a flexible body capable of distorting its limbs as necessary. No matter if dealing with a quick, fat, or blade molded, a handy barf bag is always recommended. Number 7. G-Virus Spawn, Resident Evil 2. In pursuit of immortality, Dr. William Birkin messed around with the highly regenerative G-Virus. Although this strain allows for quick biological evolution, the host tends to be left as a disfigured abomination covered in cancerous growths and deformed limbs. The virus causes people to evolve in response to their environment. However, incompatible test subjects have little to no control over these changes and eventually mutate into G-adult creatures bearing no relation to humans. After a string of transformations, the hosts are reduced to walking masses of massive boils and eyeballs, prone to sending Leon and Claire scampering out of the sewer. Number 6. Skagdead, Resident Evil Revelations. Developed by coupling the T-virus with a mutagen discovered in a fish, the Skagdead is a result of a victim having a natural resistance to the disease. Rather than protecting against the pathogen, these subjects merely suffer for longer before mutating into an even more malformed creature than normal. Most of the design is a bloated mass of gray flesh and stumps, but the Skagdead retains the original human's head as a repulsive reminder of its origins. While the monster's bizarre mouth and buzzsaw arm are quite disgusting, the human-shaped growth elevates the Skagdead by a few notches. Number 5. Spiders, Various. Why waste time brainstorming a new repugnant concoction when nature is willing to do the heavy lifting? Right from the very first game, Resident Evil appreciated, for lack of a more suitable word, the appeal of spiders. Found beneath courtyards of old mansions, web spinners are defunct bioorganic weapons with 8 hairy legs, fangs stocked with venom, and a taste for human flesh. More importantly, these anthropods are about as big as cars and arrive in various shapes and colors. Even the Umbrella Corporation should have known better than to mess with spiders. Number 4. Marguerite Baker, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
What the hell?
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's time for supper.
Who are all you people?
Capcom sure loves its bugs. Once upon a time, Marguerite Baker was a normal and kind woman. Unfortunately, the housewife is infected by the Molded and gradually mutates into a demonic creature with a fondness for insects. While undeniably creepy throughout the entirety of Resident Evil 7, Marguerite ups the nausea factor during the final showdown with Ethan. Rather than just controlling bugs, Marguerite morphs and stretches to resemble a cockroach, while real insects crawl over the villain's body. As the rotten cherry on top of this disgusting sundae, a hive takes a fancy to Marguerite's groin.
Don't you worry none!
Number 3. Regenerador and Iron Maiden, Resident Evil 4. Occasionally, a simple design is more effective than a gobbled-up abomination of deformed limbs and eyeballs. At first glance, Resident Evil 4's Regeneradors appear to be little more than a human-sized gray monster stripped of hair and carrying a sharp grin. But when Leon blasts one of these creatures, it causes tentacles to suddenly spring up to quickly heal the bullet wound. Regeneradors are humans forcibly implanted with parasitic bugs which help restore the host's damaged body. Beneath a Regenerador's coarse skin and vacant smile rest several tiny parasites that make leeches seem adorable by comparison. The Iron Maidens take all of that and add sharp spikes to the equation. Number 2. La Pozzissa, Resident Evil 6. Even though 2012's entry barely qualifies as horror, when it comes to disgusting monsters, Resident Evil 6 conceived a masterpiece. La Pozzissa's body chiefly consists of plump bulbs stacked on top of each other, forming a wave of stomach-turning toxic holes. Once eye contact is made with this grotesque monster, there is simply no looking away from its fleshy balloons. While the torso's globes steal the show, La Pozzissa can also split open its mouth to release a slimy tentacle before French kissing any unfortunate sap in the area. Leon, please, drop a building on this thing. Number 1. William Birkin G, Resident Evil 2. Through the power of science, William Birkin succeeded at redefining the meaning of the word disgusting. After purposefully injecting the G virus, the mad scientist triggers a series of transformations, with each form growing more grotesque than the last. While the other stages are hardly picturesque, nothing compares to the fifth and final form. Unable to maintain a physical form, G transforms into a shapeless blob of seeping flesh, sharp tentacles, and one massive eye surrounded by infinite teeth. The original G is quite impressive, but the remake's version is out of this world. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.